Hi, this is Terrie, back for another message from the heart. I'm the hospice musician, and normally I sit with patients and families and visit facilities, but because our world has changed so drastically, we're finding other ways to reach out and stay connected with one another. So I brought a story that was written from someone in Germany, and I wanted to share it because it unified the experience that we really have no borders, that it's one world. What affects one affects all of us. So I hope that it touches your heart the way it touches mine, and then I have a song for you. It was March 17th, 2020. The streets were empty and the shops were closed. People couldn't get out. But spring didn't know, and the flowers continued to bloom. And the sun shone, and the swallows came back, and the sky turned pink and blue. In the morning we kneaded bread dough and baked cakes, for it was getting dark later, and in the morning the light came earlier through the windows. It was March 17th, 2020. The youngsters studied online, and in the afternoon everyone inevitably played in the house. It was the year when you could only go out to shop. Everything else was closed, even the offices, hotels, and bars. And the army started to guard the exits and borders, and there was not enough space for everyone in hospitals, and people got sick. But spring didn't know and sprouted blossoms. It was March 17th, 2020. All were quarantined, grandparents, families, adolescents. And then the fear became real, and all the days looked the same. But spring didn't know, and the roses continued to bloom. The pleasure of eating, writing, and reading together was rediscovered. You let your imagination run wild, and boredom became creativity. Some learned a new language. Some discovered art. Students crammed for the last exam that was still pending for the final exam. One noticed she was disengaged from life, and she found her way back to herself. Another stopped being ignorant. One closed his office and opened a bed and breakfast with 4 of his friends. There was someone who became a doctor to assist those who needed help. It was the year when people recognized the importance of health and true suffering, and perhaps also one's calling. The year the world seemed to stop, and the economy went down the drain, but it didn't stop. It reinvented itself. And spring didn't know, and flowers made room for fruit. And then came the day of liberation. We heard it on TV, and the government said to everyone that the emergency was over, that the virus had lost, and that everyone had won together. And then we went out on the street with tears in our eyes, without masks and gloves. And we hugged our neighbors as if he were our brother. And summer came, because spring didn't know, and it was still there. But in spite of everything, despite the virus, despite the fear, despite the death, because spring didn't know and taught everyone the power of life, the power of togetherness, solidarity, and respect. So my invitation to you is to go outside and pause and give thanks for this beautiful world we live in. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Go outside, listen to your heart. I'll see you next time.